and I see my smiley face.
Oh,
That's a nice change.
Ah, we're live.
You are
Do you want
live.
these more? Or?
Sorry.
I don't like take your.
Hello, students. Please let me know you're online. Go to the chat. Miss Liz is ready for your comments and
I'm
questions.
ready.
And Chase, how many people do we have on?
None yet.
None yet. Okay.
Where's my phone?
Okay, there we are. 2 watching,
Get warmed up, everybody.
There we go.
3 watching.
Hello, 3. Talk to Miss Liz in the chat so we know who you are. Please post any questions that you have that you'd like me to go over today. You okay there, Mr. Chase?
I slept awkwardly
Uh,
and on my shoulder. I think I know exactly how I slept.
yeah, he's 22, he's getting old.
No, I just have to remember not to sleep like that. Dylan's here. Hello?
Who?
Dylan?
Yes.
Hello, Dylan.
Any questions? Found Dylan? You got 4 watching, so we only know who one person is.
Dad, what about the thing you did with Natalie and Josh? The clock thing? 5 watching.
All right.
Do you remember that?
Clothing?
Like what you did with Natalie and Josh, that you said you remember.
Yeah, when parry, chop, boom, 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 boom.
Remember that.
Okay, everybody ready? So, let's see. Left side forward. I want you to go parry, parry, chop the throat.
You can get closer.
That we block palm. Chop the side of the neck. Cat and claw. Front kick, jump, front kick, hammer fist, back fist, upward, double hammer. Let me slow that down. So, parry, 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 chop. So, in unfurling crane,
Dad, you can get closer.
Thank you.
No, I can see tops.
Is that good? All right. So, parry, parry, hammer, and unfurling crane. Parry, parry, back fist. In reversing mace. Now I'm going to go parry, parry, chop to the throat.
But then you can't see.
So, low, middle, high. So, 1, 2, 3. Then I want you to go claw or palm strike and outward block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parry, parry, chop. That chop's going to go right into an outward block with a palm strike, and right back to a chop to the side of the neck. Roll that around, club in the face of your cat back. Front kick, jump, front kick. Play it forward with a hammer. Roll the back fist. I think we did this elbow actually. Hammer. Now as you're hammering, you're in a reverse pose. This is protecting. Bring that heel up, fire your kick and cross out. All right. Well, make sure you're not too close to a lamp or something. All right. So parry, parry, chop, outward block, and palm strike, chop, cat and claw, front kick, jump, front kick, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, kick. Parry, parry, chop, outward block, palm, chop, claw, kick, jump, kick, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, kick. Parry, parry, chop, block and palm, chop, claw, kick, jump, kick, hammer fist, rolling back fist, inward elbow, hammer the groin, and rear kick. All right, let me do that on Mr. Chase.
No one says that he's in the UK.
Yeah, I know. Hi, Dylan. How are things going? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope things are well.
Chloe is watching.
Hello, Chloe.
Katarina's watching.
Hello, Katarina.
Let's see the time.
All right, so throw a roundhouse left punch. 1, 2, 3. Now throw a right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's a lot.
I know, it's a lot. All right, so super slow. Parry, parry, chop. Now, as that other punch comes in, we're just gonna roll right up the arm. All right, as we palm to the face, we block that. Then we're gonna roll down, chop, and then rip down the face. We're gonna kick the groin to bend him over, kick the solar plexus, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, and kick. Well, Josh and Natalie on, they saw that I made this up on Thursday night.
Oh.
Who do we have?
Dylan is in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh.
They left in the summer.
Oh.
He's been there for,
Oh, okay.
yeah. All right, so
We
here
have
comes,
6 watching.
here goes a roundhouse left, parry, parry, chop, block, palm, chop, claws your cat back, kick, jump, kick, hammer, back fist, sandwiching elbow, hammer, kick, and cover. So this is Durning's Devastation 397. I'm not good at naming techniques, I just make them up. All right, so where did Chase go?
Oh, are you doing it again?
Yeah, let's do it from the other angle, just in case people. All right, so roundhouse left, right. Oh, my fault. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh wow, 13 moves. It's a long one. Okay, and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, chop, claw, kick, kick, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, kick. All right, all right. So, let me see if I can do that on the B side. All right, so parry, parry, chop, outward block, palm, chop, cat and claw, kick, jump, kick, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, kick. All right, so ready, and parry, parry, chop, outward block, palm, chop, cat and claw, kick, jump, kick, hammer, back fist, elbow, hammer, kick. All right, so lock that in the memory banks, just a little coordination drill. I just took a couple of different techniques and popped them together. All right, who do we have?
We have 6
Hi,
watching.
Faye. All right.
Anybody have anything?
Dylan says UK is going well, except lockdown. Missing the lessons.
Well, thank you.
Us too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
Want to just pick one of the green belt or the brown belts or something?
Sure.
Well, you have the list of them.
All right. Actually, let's do punch from the rear 45. Okay. So
Which side do you want?
from the back. So somebody's coming up from the flank, you're paying attention, so you see him step in and try to cold cock you in the head. You're gonna drop, you're gonna step away from him, so as he's coming in, I'm gonna step on the diagonal and drop, get my head off the plane of attack. Now don't lean, all right? Because after that first strike, he could be coming in with a second one or an attempted grab, or, you know, once he misses with the first one, he'll probably continue his attack. So you want to stay balanced, don't lean over because you don't want him to grab you and fall over face first. So as this comes in, you're going to drop and fire a kick up into the ribcage. Surprise!
Is that it?
He didn't know that was coming. Yeah, that's all I'm going to work on right now. 1, 2, all right? So 1, catch your weight, 2, drive that in.
You can get a little closer. We're actually pretty far away. We're actually really
Okay.
far away.
So here comes, I'm like, da da da, oh, here comes the punch. 1 and 2. All right?
What's that?
Then now let's add a spinning rear kick to that. So I drop, I kick 1, I kick 2, and then I head out the door. All right? So it's a diagonal punch. You step to the corner, you drop, stay balanced. Fire kick 1, fire kick 2, and cover. All right, and one more time from this back diagonal. Drop, fire kick 1, fire kick 2, and cover. Okay, let's come from the other 45. Now he's on my back, to you guys, back right side. So same thing, this time I step with my left foot, drop, kick up into the body. All right, so drop, kick, and if that kick hits nice and hard, you're already pointed out the door and you're off and running. So whoa, drop, kick, cross. Now, the thing I don't see you guys doing enough is changing the height of your head. Don't be a straight legger. 2 types of people in the world: straight leggers and knee benders. And there will be no straight leggers in my class. So bend those knees. So as this comes in, whoa, get down. Change the height of your head. Then fire that kick, and then you're ready to run out or pop, pop, pop. Do the rear, defensive rear, spin rear combination. So he's coming in, drop, defensive rear, and then you can decide what to do from there. Boom. But this is called a stop hit. We want to stop his forward momentum with this kick. So drop, bam, I hit him, and hopefully that stops him right in place. Okay, and hopefully I, hurt his rib cage too, maybe broke one. But you know what? Getting a rib broken usually is not an immediate fight stopper. I've known plenty of people in tournaments and things who've had a cracked rib, and they fought 2 or 3 more matches with a cracked rib, but then they couldn't get out of bed the next morning. So remember, that kind of damage is not really useful to us. What we need is right now pain, not he can't get out of bed tomorrow, but he beat us up yesterday pain. All right? So as that comes in, drop. You're still balanced though. Fire that kick. All right? Now, from there, you can either head out or you can turn into him, right? We do the second kick. Go into a control move. All right? Or from here, you drop out, fire that kick, and then come in. Boom. All right. Very good. Do I have any questions?
Natalie and Josh are here.
Hi, Nat. Hi, Josh. All right. So now, let's talk about dealing with someone who's coming in and he's not just standing back and throwing, his body mass is actually continuing to come in. All right, so we have complementary techniques like delayed sword and 5 swords, like sword of destruction and shielding hammer, that they work together for a specific goal, right? So as Chase comes in with a roundhouse right, I'm gonna block that and then hit him, right? But let's switch. What's gonna happen if the guy's been drinking? I'm gonna punch you. Ready? See? And you stop his punch, but you don't stop his momentum. That's where that chop is really important. All right, so we'll switch. So I want you to keep coming this time. So I do the block, whoa, see, and that has to stand him up. That chop has to stand him up. And that's always why I'm telling you guys, get down in your legs, right? Because you'll do a block, and even though you successfully defended yourself against the punch, you're still in trouble because he knocked you off balance, right? What's the deal? We are always balanced. He is always unbalanced. So we come in and we stop his momentum. Then we finish him off. All right? But most people, they treat this chop, da 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 da. But also, this is not the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? This is the timing. 1, 2, 3. The chop hits in what we call a half count. It has to, because it has to stop him from either continuing in with his mass or throwing that second punch, right? So boom, whoa, see? Which is why we have fatal deviation, right? We don't stop him, so here comes the second punch.
Am I doing the second punch?
Yep. Pop, pop, right? And there's our stop hit now, the palm strike, boom. Okay, all right, so
Back to one punch.
first punch comes in, boom. You need to stop that. Now, advanced students, you're all advanced students. I want you to set both hands in motion. So instead of 1, 2, and this is waiting in the wings, I want you to put it in motion on beat 1. 1, 2. So when this hits, I want you in contact with his wrist. So you're controlling him, right? So you have that wrist, all right? It only has to be there for a split second because on beat 2, it's going to hit. So on beat 1, it's helping you block, but on beat 2, it's hitting. Now, let's turn around this way. You see what I'm doing to Chase here? By doing this palm, I'm turning his shoulder. See, so I'm checking his width. All right? So 1 hits on the half count. This is protecting, and then he comes in with that second shot. But I check it because you can check a weapon, or you can check the source of a weapon, right? Let's say you didn't really want to risk breaking this guy's neck with your maximum power chop palm combination, right? So we're 1, 2, and he comes in with that. See, I could just do a palm to the heart. So come here, Chase. Now watch this. So I want you to throw a right punch at me.
You can't reach him.
Yeah, and what else is happening?
You can push back.
Yeah, you're throwing yourself off balance, right? So turn this way. All right, come in with it. All right, do it again. I actually learned this from my boxing instructor, oddly enough, right? See, for his punch to come forward, right, this shoulder to come forward, this shoulder has to come back. So if you interrupt that, right, so you're, hey man, I don't want any trouble. Sorry. You just don't even worry about the punch. Poked him in the eye. All right. So you aim right for the shoulder or the chest, which hurts too. Okay? And that can prevent him because now do it slow again, but forcefully. See, he's throwing himself off balance because I've changed his axis from here to here. All right? So that's another possibility. All right, so let's talk about now the idea that he's coming in with a roundhouse right and you have your left side forward. Now for 5 swords, you have to have your right side forward, okay? Now, some people are gonna say, well, you can step in, yeah, or you can step back, yeah. Those are all true, but remember, being in position already is better than getting into position on the fly, all right? That is why if someone walks up to you and they look like they want to fight, you don't just stand there like this, all right? Back in the olden days, in the 80s, when I first started learning Kempo, every technique started with your hands at your sides and your feet in a natural position, step back to 6 o'clock, and, well, it's like, okay, well, okay, but hey, flashing mace, your hand is up. Well, why would my hand be up? Well, let's say you're at the bar and you're leaning against a wall.
These are kids.
Right. So that's what they used to tell us. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then, you know, as I trained it, I'm like, you know what? No, you're supposed to be here. That's why you do flashing mace, because your hands are already up. And when he fires that punch, it's a straight punch. Not that it mattered. Right? It's there to do the break because it's already there. Okay? So okay. So remember, being in position is better than having to get into position. So let's talk about left side forward. If I'm here like this and he throws a punch, yeah. Whoa, I don't want to have to switch. All right, because that's not going to do. It's going to take too long. I'm not going to be settled. And if he catches me before I set my weight, he's going to knock me over. All right? So the worst thing to do is get hit. The second worst thing to do is get knocked off balance because he still has the initiative. If he does the first one and knocks you off balance, then he gets a second shot, boom, and a third shot, wham, right? All right, so we can't have that. So we're here. We're going to do an extended outward block with our front hand, which is our left hand, and this hand is ready to either protect against that or to hit him, all right? Now, I prefer to take it one step further. I believe that hitting on beat 1 is ultimately what you want to do. So I'm here, I don't want any trouble, wham! See, I'm basically doing securing the storm here. Hey, and notice how I stepped on this foot? That's my secret weapon, don't steal it. Okay, so I do the block and the palm, right? I can wrap around and break his elbow, right? I can fire a knee. From there, I can deliver a chop to the neck or a claw through the face, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I can go high-low. 1, turn his head that way. Come on ahead and do thundering hammers from the inside, right? All right, so 1, you block that. All right, now, if you're defensive, all right, you can pick that up. But I prefer that, just like on securing the storm or the second move of clutching feathers, we do that block palm simultaneously. In fact, one of my students calls this the John technique because we've gone over it so many times. So for, hey man, I don't want any trouble, boom. All right, right from there, come right into the knee, and then an elbow to the jaw. All right, hey man, I don't want any trouble. 1, 2, 3. Now, if he's a little farther away or he's got longer range than you, you just change the knee into a scoop kick. So 1, 2, and then if you're still far away, your elbow just becomes a palm strike. Okay, oh, hey, now we're doing thrusting salute, right? So 1, 2, 3, that's a possibility. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know, I'm just having fun. All right, so you block that, you hit that there, come across with a hammer, come underneath. See how I move my head? So my head goes 1, 2, hey, I'm behind him. All right, behind the guy's best place to be. So 1, 2, so you can even do thundering hammers from the inside. From here you go 1, step under his armpit, and blast him. All right, so 1, 2, and check that leg, and then you come back on this, put him in the guillotine, right? Do my push-pull spin takedown, put him in a naked choke, you know, whatever. All right, so outward block palm, outward block kick, outward block scoop, 1, 2, 3. All right, so you have a lot of options there for left side forward. Now, what we're doing is we're taking existing techniques and we're just doing them off of a different attack. Techniques work off of more than one attack. So if I go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, all I've done is thrusting salute off a roundhouse punch instead of a kick, right? So multiple techniques are good for multiple situations, not just one. So it's always a good idea to say, how else could I do this technique? Right, just like we showed just a second ago with thundering hammers. 1, whoa, 2. So getting that head moving is key. When I was coming up like purple belt, blue belt, the thing I wanted to be good at the most was bridging the gap, was going from here to here without getting hit. And that's probably the whole thing. That's like the most important thing in sport fighting, in sparring, is being able to bridge the gap without getting hit. And the key is to use footwork and head movement. 1, 2. All right, so ready? I want everybody to do this with me. All right, I'll get on this side. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? Slip, sit. So you do your sit. See my head change position? So it's on the plane of attack. Now it's over here. All right. So there's my chin. Now my chin's down here. See how I changed my height, width, and depth? Everybody see that? All right. So slip. Take your hands with you. Sit under. Now slip and hit him. Sit under and hit him. Come over the top. All right. So Chase. So he throws a jab. I slip to the outside. Throw it at my face, will you? There. He was being nice and throwing it off angle. I don't need help. I can do it all by myself. Now, he throws a right at my head. But I come underneath. Don't we turn our hips on our oblique? There we go. And I'm out here. All right, so I go 1, 2. See? So 1, whoa, 2. Keep those hands up. Let's do this from a different angle. He throws the left, I'm outside. Now see how I'm outside the left? Now ideally, once I'm there, I'd like to stay there, right? So, but 1, boom, right? But if that punch is coming fast, it's right behind the first one. It's aiming for where my head is now. So he's not going to punch 2 punches to where my head was. The first punch will be to where my head was, but the second punch is also going to be to where my head is, because he's tracking me. All right. Now, if he's not a very good fighter, he won't track you. But let's say, he knows a little bit about what he's doing. So 1, whoa, you need to change your height. Now from here, I absolutely do not want to get kneed in the face, boom, with that knee. So I'm going to go 1, 2, right? And if he tries that, I'm ready to jam him and then take control of him. Maybe I shoot his legs and do a takedown, like in Dance of Deaths. Whatever. All right, so let's change angles again. All right, so I'm here. He throws the jab. All right, at my face. I'm going to go outside of it. Now, you don't want to go inside the jab. Because here comes the other one, and then we have to do something else, like protecting fans, because we just goofed and made a mistake. We never want to go to the inside, because that's where his other hand is. We want to go to the outside. So we go to the outside, we change our height. Right, so see how I made a U? So slip and U, slip and U, slip and U. Now, let's put the hands back in. Slip. Now, see how? So let's say he manages to track my head. 1, 2, track my head. 1, 2, there we go. See, I want to make sure that he's hitting my hands and not getting through and into my face. All right, so slip 1, sit. Now, by changing the height, his shot should go over my head, and then I can come up. Now, let's add some strikes. So if he tries to jab me, now, the counter for a jab is a jab. So he tries to jab, boom, I slip and jab him back. Then he tries to throw the right, boom, I hit him. See, and then bam, come over the top, take him into a hold, put him in whatever from there. All right, sorry about that. He's gonna sneeze now because I touched his nose. Now, all right, so slip, sit, slip, sit, boom. All right, and this other hand has to be making sure that you don't get hit by this and this. So 1, and this has to take care of that and that. So it's going to move in an arc. All right, so One, I hit him, and its job's not done now. I block it as I hit him, but I can't have this out here because this can come up and hit me. So both hands have to be in front of me the whole time. All right? So your defense is not static, it's dynamic. Think about once you do one, all right, what can he hit me with? Well, he's not, yeah, you can hit me with a front kick, right? But, most guys don't know how to kick, so they're going to come over the top with the right. But what if he does do the kick? 1, 2, then that's got to be ready for that too. So my offense has to be able to change into a defense, and my defense has to be able to change into an offense. So 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, or 1, 2. So hey man, I don't have any trouble. 1, 2, or maybe I don't get to hit him at all. 1, 2, 2. Now from here, I don't think I'd go back under because that's where his other arm is, and I'm in a really good position to do a one-leg takedown. So now, if you're going to take somebody down, do not do this. See how bent over I am? Make sure you have one leg under you to drive with your shoulder. Okay? So, all right. Now, so now let's talk about sword of destruction. Now, sword of destruction is off a roundhouse left. So you step back and block that. Then you front kick him in the ribs, then you chop him in the neck. Okay? But you'll notice we're on the inside. Well, Kempo says, oh, that's okay because when he moves circular, we move linear. And he comes in with a big roundhouse punch, it's okay because it's going to take time for him to turn that. But you know what? I think a lot of people underestimate how quickly that second punch can be brought to bear. They think it's going to be 1, 2, but I think that second punch can come in a lot faster than that, especially if the guy doesn't try to uncork it all the way from his, from his heels. So you do the first one, boom, and now we're what did we do? We changed our offense, pop, pop, to a defense, pop, pop, okay? All right, so let's just do the two techniques verbatim. So, hey man, I don't want any trouble. 1, 2, 3, that's sword of destruction. And shielding hammer, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so shielding hammer is the opposite side of 5 swords. So in 5 swords, it's inward block, chop, palm, punch. And shielding hammer is outward block, hammer, spear, elbow. But you'll notice it's right, right, left, right, further around, that's right. Right, right, left, right. See? So the timing is a little bit different, but it's the same right, right, left, right pattern. So the patterns are what's important. The techniques are just tools that teach us the patterns, okay? So he comes in, but now, let's say, again, he slips or he's uncoordinated and his body mass just keeps coming in. So I go like this, whoa! See, now we're in a grapple situation and I do not want to be there if he's bigger and better at grappling than I am. So drop your weight, boom! All right, now what we have to do to stop him from keep coming in is that chop to the throat. All right? Now you might say, but your chop's behind him. Hi, see my hand? That's okay because my forearm is way better at stopping him from coming forward than my hand is. See, when I lock my elbow in, I'm really good at controlling his head and stopping it. All right, so I do the block, boom, and I stop him from coming in. Pop, pop, then I can finish it up. Right? So 1. Now I've got lots of distance, so he comes in with the second chop, and he runs himself right into my kick, right? So 1, boom, 2, bam. All right? But if we're close, 1, 2, I got to stop his momentum. Now this hand's right here, so there's the spear to the eye, and now I still have to protect against that other hand. So after the spear, this is going to turn this way. Okay? So I go spear, block, 1, 2, and this will flip 90 degrees. as I fire the elbow. So I go 1, stop him, spear, and then pick the second shot right up. Oh, right from the eye spear. All right, so let's just, so let me just show you real quick about changing. Now, again, one time I was with Mr. Knackard and Joe Lewis at lunch 25 years ago. And so they were talking about the things that most karate fighters are weakest at. And the first thing was underhand punches. And the second thing was like, well, what do you think, people are bad at? Going from offense to defense or going from defense to offense? And like, I don't know, going from defense to offense? He goes, no, you guys do that all the time. Throw a punch.
Straight?
No, roundhouse. Defense, offense. You do that all the time. What people are not good at is going from offense back to defense. So watch. Now, he throws the roundhouse left. Boom, offense. Now he throws the right. Boom, defense. So after you hit somebody, you always want to be ready for their next shot. You don't want to block one and then trade. Okay, so we're doing 5 swords, slow motion. He comes in, boom, and then I go to chop him and he punches me, boom, and we both hit each other. Crack. Okay, this is not good. This situation, either he wins, I win, or, either he loses, I lose, or we both lose. Nobody wins. So, if I can go from offense, bam, to defense, pop. See? So that you have to anticipate the next strike. So when you're working with your partner slowly, you do the first move, 1, and then he does the second move, 2, and you need to figure out what else he can do from there, okay, and what you need to do to protect from it. So let's say he decides to throw the roundhouse, boom, and then I'm about to chop him, but he throws this low, so I had to change that into fatal deviation, and I hit him. But he's not done yet, so he comes in with a knee strike. So I need to be thinking, what do I have to do to not get hit with his third strike, and where will his third strike be going? So where's a possible place his third strike could be going? So that's his first strike, that's his second strike. Whoa, maybe I need to get arc off at that point, right? So because we never want to just stand in front of him and fight into his strength, right? So if I go 1, 2, he needs me, oof, then he takes me out with this last shot. I was doing great right up until I lost. Well, that's no good. We have to do great right up until we get away safely, right? So 1, 2, 3. So put that arc in there, right? So it's like, oh, okay, well, we actually have techniques that will help us do this. Like swinging pendulum. So we go 1, boom, 2, pop, 3, boom, boom, right? And we come right up. So we can work up the circle. All right, so now let's say he comes in with the left, right. Right, so he comes in with the roundhouse left, I go like that, then the right has to come in, whoa! Now maybe I check him. See how he went to kick me? And I pulled it down on his wrist to check him? I love checking people. When I first started learning karate, it was all about hitting people, but now it's all about putting them in positions where they can't hurt me. So the checks are what's really fun now, rather than the hits. The hits are fine, they're always fun, but putting people in a position where they can't do anything to hurt us is awesome, right? So he comes in with the first shot, doesn't matter, 1, here comes in with the second shot, 2, see, and now maybe I have to check him, right? But now, whoa, he still has that to come in, so I've got to do more, and then maybe even more. Right? But putting that person where he's off balance and he can't do anything to us, it's hard because you only have 2 hands and 2 legs. And so does he. So it's hard to check every single thing at a time. So you kind of have to prioritize, right? Boom, if I hit him 1, and then it comes, and bam, hit him 2. Hopefully at that point, he's pretty stunned, right? And he's not really coming in full strength, full power. And see, he went to throw that, and I just checked his head off to the side. All right, so here, just stand there for a second, Chase. All right, now pick up your right foot. Good. Do it again. Do it again. See, by taking, let me do that so you guys can see. So, knee my hand, knee my hand, knee my hand. See, so just by taking his neck and changing its place, wherever a person's head goes, that's where their body's going to go. So if I'm here and I can take their head that way, that's going to limit what they can do with that other. Don't want to blow out your Achilles tendon. All right. So your second shot can always be changed from an offense, bump, bump, to a defense, bump, bump, on the fly. Now, if you really want to be aggressive, all right, let's go back to our left side forward, and let's turn this way again. So, hey man, I don't want any trouble. As you step in, do all three. Check his weapon, check the source of his weapon, and hit him all at the same time. So, hey, I don't want any trouble. Boom. So he comes in with that. I check the weapon, but that's not all. I check the source of the weapon, but that's not all. I elbow him in the head, so I do all three. Hey, look, I don't have any trouble. Wham! Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I stepped to the outside of Chase. Generally, we like to take the center line. So if he comes in, I want to be on the inside so my groin doesn't get scooped. The problem is that puts me really close to this punch, whereas here, he has to come across his body. So it's not always the case, although it usually is, to take the center line. So now, when I step in, watch this from behind. You'll notice I'm stepping off to the diagonal. I'm not going directly into him. So everybody, do the block, check, elbow, right? Now I want his weight on his heels so he can't kick me. Now this is still a danger. If he falls back, that can still hit me. So my second move has to prevent that from happening. So this is move one, boom. Move two, maybe I grab the back of his neck and check him down. You'll see I still have a grip on this arm. So now I'm controlling him at 2 points. I have this on the back of his neck, I have this on his arm, and this is exactly like what? Defying the storm, right? Now, of course, I could just take him down from there if I wanted to, right? Without push-pull. All right, so I don't want any trouble. Bam! From there, then check. You'll see I did a little arc while I checked, again, to get away from that left hand. So I checked his height so he couldn't kick me, and I slid off widthwise. Boom, bam, pop, boom, right? All right, so Darning's Devastation 393. So one, step off, block the weapon, block the source of the weapon, elbow simultaneously. Now there's a lot of things you could do from here. You could come across with that hand and then check the leg, right? Now you have him all back on his heels. Leg checks are the bomb. All right, so from here, 1, 2, once you're in position, take out his wheels. No untrained person is gonna, and most trained people, are not gonna think that you're gonna go after their legs. They're headhunters. They might as well be a floating head with arms coming out of their ears, right? Because all they do is try to punch you in the head, and all they expect you to do is punch them in the head. So they're gonna try to make you not hit their head, but go for everything else. It's easy pickings, right? So 1, 2, boom, all right? See how I have that checked? Now from there, as I'm leaving, I can sweep his leg, right? But then you don't want to get caught up on him either. So unless you're like really good at that, you don't want to try it and then end up tripping on your way out the door, right? So, all right, so 1, boom. I'm making contact at 1, 2, 3 points simultaneously. All right, now these are the danger points right now, right? 1, 2. So by arcing off, checking his height, I've just checked his height and width, and now he's not in a position to do anything while I knee him in the face and kick him in the groin. Axe kick him in the back of the head. Just kidding, don't do that. All right, questions. So, who do we have? I'm gonna get a quick drink of water while you guys are thinking.
Aislinn is here. Shreya is here.
Sure, there's only 15 minutes left. When you guys
Yeah.
sleep in?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have a question? Miss Liz, are there any questions on the board?
Natalie, Josh, anyone, Trey, any of them?
What belt is swingy pendulum for?
Purple?
What was? Do you still teach that?
Swinging pendulum. So it's
How'd
It's
you
a
knee
blue belt.
chasing the
it's
thigh?
universal block, hammer fist, elbow, cross out.
No.
So it's off a roundhouse
Can you
kick.
demonstrate
Sure.
that?
Come in with a right roundhouse kick. So first thing we do is block the kick, then we hammer the groin, then we elbow his chin. You know, so we go block, shuffle in and hammer, arc off an elbow. So the footwork goes arc, shuffle, arc. Arc, shuffle, arc. All right, so first you arc and block, then you shuffle and hammer. Again, get this hand up, protect your head. What's our rule? When we hit low, we cover high. When we hit high, we cover low. All right, so this is protecting from that punch. And then we got to worry about this. We're going to arc up, catch him with the elbow, then we can buckle the leg, straighten the groin, do a little shoulder, charge in, hook his leg, take him down like the end of scraping hook. All right, so that's swinging pendulum. Any other questions, Miss Liz?
No.
Is Sam on board?
Yes, she is, but she's not
All right,
texting anything.
all right, but I know what Sam's doing. Do some knife stuff. All right. Finish up with some knife stuff here for Sam. All right, Sam. Mr. Chase, I need you. All right, so what is our 5-step plan for dealing? I really ought to make it a 6-step plan, you know, because plan number 1 is give him whatever he wants and get to safety. Plan number 2 is run. Plan number 3 is pull out your own bigger, better weapon. Right? Why is a club better than a knife? A knife is metal and it's pointy and it's, you know, it can slice you up, but a club has a reach advantage. Okay, reach, very important. All right, so if you can't get away, you give them your stuff. Now, I see a lot of guys on the internet say, the best thing to do is run away. Okay, but you're a girl and you're wearing 4-inch heels because you were out to a function. Let's watch you run away. You're not outrunning some 25-year-old guy wearing sneakers when you're dressed up and you're wearing dress shoes. It's not going to happen. Watch you run away. Number two, like my student Brian, he's 72 years old. Okay, how is he going to outrun a 25-year-old? It's not even possible, right? So running is a great idea if you think you can outrun the bad guy. But if you don't think you're going to outrun him, then all you're going to do is waste a lot of energy and then get beat up when he catches you. So it's not an automatic thing. All right. So if you can get away, get away. If you can't get away, you pull out your own bigger, better weapon. You don't have a bigger, better weapon, you grab something to shield with, your satchel, your briefcase, block the knife, get away then. All right. Oh, I don't have anything to shield with. Well, you got to pick up things to throw at him. All right. So, all right, well, I don't have anything to throw at him. Oh, well, now you have to do an empty hand defense against weapon-wielding guy. Not what we really want to have to do, but we've exhausted all the other possibilities. And you've got about, I don't know, half a second to go through this list. You know, you're like a quarterback going through his progressions. Progression 1 is hit the guy downfield for a long bomb touchdown. Oops, he's covered. Okay. 2, hit my slot receiver. Ooh, he's covered. Dump it off to the running back. Okay. For you non-sports fans, yeah, I'm sorry, that was my analogy. All right. So, when this comes in, it's not going to be one thrust and he freezes, right? He's going to come in and he's going to be jabbing with the thing. All right. Or he's going to be slashing with it. So when you get cut, it's going to be in the back of your arm. And you're going to have to step in and you're going to have to get control of him. All right. And then you're going to have to finish him off with ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression. Because at that point, it's fight or die, right? So, if he just wants your stuff, give it to him. But if he says, get in the car, or follow me behind those bushes, or behind that dumpster, okay, now we got a problem. Because nothing good's gonna happen back there. When he takes you to a secondary location, it's so there's less chance of someone being around to help, not more. So you get loud, you attract attention. Help! He has a knife! Call 911! Help me! He has a knife! I need the police! Call 911! And pick somebody. So they don't get into mob mentality and go, wow, I wonder who's calling the police. All right? If you can point to somebody and tell them to call 911. I've seen too many videos. Granted, most of them are in other countries. China! Where one person is beating up another person right there on the street, and people just walk by and just keep on going on with their day. They just walk right past. So you have to rescue yourself. Don't assume someone's going to come and rescue you. So one of the best things I think for you trained people, if you are in clothes that allow it, is that as soon as he comes in, you just hit him with a shuffle side kick, crossover rear kick or front kick, and just hit him and then run. You know, try to take him down. A knife is a great offensive weapon. It's not a very good defensive weapon. It's not going to protect him from me blasting him. And again, you might get cut. But again,
That's a good place.
you know, your shin, that's like the second best place to get cut. Getting cut up here, ooh, lots of arteries and things. You don't want that. You know, police should just shoot people in the leg. People die from leg wounds just as much as they do from torso wounds. You know, so you know, yeah. And anyway, that's a whole nother class. So the first thing we need to do is don't stand in front of the guy when he's coming in with this 8 thrusts in a way. We have to not be there. All right. So let's go do it on the diagonal. You know. All right. Now, the next thing a bad guy will do. All right. So when he comes in, boom, ready to control that arm.
We can't see that.
All right. So I managed to get his wrist. Now I'd prefer to get his thumb, but I got his wrist. Hey, that's something. Anchor it into your body. Use your body weight on his arm. Then go after him with your other hand, and now you'll see that I'm kneeling down to break to blow out his MCL. Boom. There. All right. So he's stabbing, he continues stabbing, he's stabbing, I'm warning off the knife, I got it. You know. All right. So it's going to be ugly, it's not going to be pretty. This is and don't do the Kempo knife technique, soft knife attacks. They'll just get you killed. So come in, again, ready to go. With the throat, yeah. Okay, go for my face. Okay, it's just like trying to do Kempo when somebody's throwing jabs and crosses and hooks. It's not designed for that. It won't work. That's why we also learn how to kickbox and box, and we learn how to block, parry, and shield the targets. All right. Oh, Chase is all worn out. All right. So,
You got 5 more minutes in the advanced class.
okay. So come on out, Chase. Bring the knife. All right. So your hands have to protect your eyes, your throat, and your heart. These are 3 places where a strike can pretty much kill you right away. If this goes into your eye socket and keeps on going, you're dead. If this goes into your throat and keeps on going, you're dead. If this goes in through your ribs and into your heart, you're dead. You just don't know it yet. It might take you 30 seconds to die, but you're already dead. So you have to protect those and be expecting to get cut so that you don't get cut and have a reaction, and then he stabs you 16 more times. Now, having said that, once adrenaline starts flowing, you might not even feel the cuts until afterwards. And there's a syndrome, I forget what it's called, where something doesn't hurt until you see it, which is weird, but it actually exists. It's like, you're like, bump, 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 ah! And you don't react to it until you physically see that you're hurt, and then all of a sudden it starts hurting. Okay, so I don't know why that is, but it is. All right, so now, if he's coming in, and see how I got my body back and out of the way? Now I can't let him pull that knife back to jam it forward again. So as soon as we make contact, I have to be in on him. All right? Or as soon as we make contact, I have to hit him. All right? Now the problem with trying to hit him is, what if you don't accomplish anything on that hit? What if I miss him, or it doesn't stop him, right? So, but again, if you're a 120-pound person and he's a 240-pound person, you know, locking up with him is problematic too, because he's a lot stronger than you. All right, so it's a bad situation all the way around. All you can do is say, what gives me the best chance? And sometimes it's compliance. Sometimes doing what he tells you is the best way to get out of it alive. But on a case-by-case basis, you have to make that determination. All right, and once you comply, that doesn't mean you can't fight again later. All right, so he's like, you know, get in the car. So you start to get in the car, and then boom, you try to spring a counter attack on him and kind of ambush him a little bit. That's a possibility too. All right, Mr. Chase, why do you keep leaving?
I'm not going anywhere.
So last minute here. All right, so concepts: protect your eyes, your throat, and your heart. 2, take the cut on the back of your arm. 3, don't stand in front of him. Don't stand in front of him. Don't stand in front of him. All right? Keep moving away from the knife. Once you get control of the knife arm, all right, keep that control on him. And then go for things that will incapacitate him immediately, like taking out his eyes. All right? And when you go for his eyes, your plan is to stick your finger in his eye until it gets to the second knuckle. Okay? It's not just boink, boink, boink. You're driving it in. You want him to think, I am going to die now. So you can go in like this and then try to squeeze your fingers together like you're putting your fingers in the holes of a bowling ball. See, his eyes are 2 of the 3 holes for your bowling ball. Boom. All right? Or this way, or knuckles if you need to. All right. Oh, did I knock your contact out?
I got an eyelash.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. So great job today. Attention stance. Any questions you might have for during the week, let me know. I think we're going to do another class Monday night and another class on Thursday night. So all advanced students are invited to attend those classes. So we'll live stream on Monday and we'll live stream on Thursday. All right, and hopefully this coronavirus thing won't last too much longer. You know, and I we'll see each other again before, you know, June. All right, attention stance, horse stance, warrior scholar, attention, and bow. All right, see you guys. Have a great weekend.
So now it should be beginner, intermediate.
All right, let's see. I got Josh, I got Bella, I got Caroline, I got Lila, I got Emma and Will, and I have Bobby, I have Ari, I have Elena. All right. All right. Hi guys. Once you're up and watching the video, can you please go to the chat and let Miss Liz know you're here? She's working the boards, and if you have any questions, please type it in, and she will relay it to me, and we'll go over it in class. So whatever you guys need for your next test, let's keep you guys on track so you're not losing any time while we're all self-isolating. How many people do we have online right now?
7 watching.
Hi, 7 watching. All right. Salutation, attention, and bow. All right. So let's get warmed up a little bit. Well, we'll start off with some punchy sets. So I want you to go high, middle, low, low, middle, high, and I want you chambering that other hand. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, high, middle, low, low, middle, high, high, middle, low, low, middle, high. Now I'm going to go pivot and punch to the corner, 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 pivot and punch, 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 pivot and punch. Now I want you to put those two together. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. High, middle, low, low, middle, high, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. Okay, if you're a white belt or a yellow belt and you're going, Mr. John, you're going way too fast, then all I want you to do is go punch, 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 pivot and punch, pivot and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do about 5 sets of that. Are we still at 7?
Yes.
Okay. Can the 7 people who are on board please identify yourselves? Aislinn and Shreya, you guys still here? Because if it's all still advanced students, I'll keep doing advanced stuff.
No, nothing.
Okay, horse stance. Inward, outward, 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 inward, upward, 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 inward, downward, 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 inward, downward. Okay. In, out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down. All right. Stances. I guess I'll do mirror image.
Brady says hi.
Hi, Brady. Right side back in a forward bow. Pivot to a neutral bow. Pivot to a reverse bow. You'll notice I'm still looking at you guys. My defense is still between me and you. So even when I'm in a reverse bow, I don't turn to face someone over there. The bad guy's still in front of me. Close kneeling stance. Reverse bow. Close kneeling stance. Reverse bow. Neutral bow. Wide kneeling stance. Neutral bow. Wide kneeling stance. Neutral bow. Don't stick out your tushy when you drop down to your wide kneeling stance. Keep your tushy in, up and down. Oh, Miss Liz hates it when I say tushy, by the way.
Yes.
All right. I guess I'm gonna have to change it to butt. Forward bow, close kneel, forward bow, close kneel, forward bow, close kneel, forward bow. Neutral bow. Side horse stance. Now you're all the way sideways. Neutral bow. Horse stance. Neutral bow. Horse stance, neutral bow, cat stance, crane stance. Work that balance. How many of you are still balancing? How many of you put your foot down? Be honest. Cat stance, horse stance, forward bow, attention stance. All right. Questions on your stances.
Elena is here.
Hello, Elena. Hello, Mr. George. Okay, let's work our footwork. Yeah.
Also, Emma and Will.
Hello,
are here.
Emma. Hello, Will. Shout outs. Okay, let's do our shuffles. So, step, drag, shuffle. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, going back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's take it sideways. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Going back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Step drag, step drag, step drag, step drag. Going back. Step drag, step drag, step drag, step drag. All right, advancing with the drag step. Drag, step, drag, step. Going back. Drag, step, drag, step. Going forward, drag, step, drag, step. Going back, drag, step, drag, step. Okay, that's your step, drag, and your drag, step. Now for green belts and up. Push, drag. Pick up your front foot, shoot yourself forward. Pick your foot up, shoot yourself forward. Pick your back foot up, shoot yourself back. Pick your back foot up, shoot yourself back. So when you do a push drag, it's the same basic movement as a step drag, except when you step drag, you take a step, and then you slide your back foot up behind it. On a push drag, you pick up your front foot and you shoot yourself forward off the ball of your foot. So you cover a lot more distance and you move a lot faster. So push drag, and then going back. Push drag, going forward. Push drag, going back. Push drag. All right? Okay, so far we've gone step drag, we've gone drag step, we've gone push drag. Now our fourth shuffle is our pull drag. So pull drag. Now pull drag is like a drag step, but a drag step, you drag your back foot in and then take a step. A pull drag, you really launch yourself forward and you really launch yourself back. So how, if a fella came in, I don't have any trouble, and he pulls out a club or a knife, whoa! You know, I can do a pull drag to cover a lot of distance really fast. Okay, so now let's work our shuffling, our step drag shuffle drill. So I want you to go forward, back, left, and right. 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 All right, so I shuffle forward, I shuffle back, I shuffle left, I shuffle right. Now when you're going left and right, don't go to the diagonals. Go straight to the sides. if we go to the diagonals, we're accidentally getting closer or farther away than our opponent. We only do that when we intend to. We never do it accidentally. So, forward, back, left, right, forward, back, left, right. Okay, for blue and green belts, let's add our probe, our sit, our slips, and our arc. So a probe is basically half a shuffle forward. Instead of going 1, 2, and fully committing, you go 1, and return back to where you started. 1, return, 1, return. So your shuffle is 1, and this steps forward. Whereas your probe is a step, and then return back. Probe, return, probe, return, probe, return, probe, return. All right, our next one is a sit. Sit, return, sit, return. So it's half a shuffle back. Instead of shuffling all the way back, which probably puts us out of range of hitting the guy back, we're moving, drop back and then come back in and hit. Drop back and come back in and hit. Drop back and come back in and hit. See? Because our front foot's not moving, therefore, when we step back up, we're exactly the same distance we were from him, and since he was coming in, we allowed him to close the distance and then hit him while he was still in range. So it's tricky. Boom, 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 boom. So it allows you to get far enough away that he doesn't hit you, but then bounce back to where you started and hit him before he can back out of range. All right? All right, so probe, return, sit, return, probe, return, sit, return. Probe, return, sit, return, probe, return, sit, return. Probe, return, sit, return, probe, return, sit, return. Good. Now let's do our slips left and right. I'm going to turn around this way. When you slip left, your foot and your head go together, and then return. Slip, return, slip, return, slip. Now don't do this. Slip. Okay? Because now you're off balance and you're tilted. So that's two problems. Number one, your head's no longer on top of your knees, so you're off balance. And number two, your vision is designed to work on the horizon line. Okay, so you're very coordinated and you're very good depth perception when your head is like this and you're looking at the horizon line. But once you tilt, most of that goes out the window. If you don't believe me, try having a catch with someone with your head like this. And see how good you are at throwing and catching. Probably not too good. Okay? All right. So, slip to the left, return. 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 Slip to the right, 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 return. Okay? Slip left, slip right, slip left, slip right. All right, let's put those together. Probe, sit, slip left, slip right. 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 Okay? All right. Now, last move is arcing. Arcing is what you do when someone's trying to kick you, punch you, or stick you in the stomach with something. So, slips, get our head off the line. Slip your head, slip your head, slip your head, slip your head. Arcs, get our body off the line. So, if something's coming straight down the plane of attack at us, we slip off so it goes by and misses. All right? All right, so, arc, and return, 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 arc, and return. All right, let's put those all together now. Ready? I'll do it backwards from you guys. Ready? So follow me. Shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right, probe forward, sit back, slip left, slip right, arc off. Shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right. Okay, so far so good. Probe forward, sit back, slip left, slip right, arc off. All right, I'm gonna turn around this way now. shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right. Probe forward, sit back, slip left, slip right, arc off. All right, now let me do it once this way. Shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right. Probe, sit, slip, slip, arc. All right, practice that 3 times. Go. Remember, if you're having trouble getting it, if you think we're going too fast, you can always go back and watch the class again once it's uploaded onto YouTube and slow it down. Watch it in slow motion and watch it as many times as you need to. All right, so we did our shuffles. Now, our next thing is crossovers. So crossovers are a method of moving that covers more distance than a shuffle. So shuffles don't really cover a lot of distance. Crossovers cover a lot of distance, okay? Now, so why don't we just C-step? C-steps cover distance. That's true. But a C-step changes which side is facing the bad guy. So right now, I have my right side facing you, right? And now left side, right side, right side. See? Okay? So it changes. So first this hand's in front, now this hand's in front. If you don't want to change sides, then that's a little problematic because you can't do a step through without changing sides. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is that step throughs take a long time compared to like a shuffle, and they open up your center line halfway through. There's no way to go from here to here without hitting here. So halfway through, like we talked about last week, your center line and your axis is now on the plane of attack because there's your axis line and here's your center line and you're wide open. So you've just squared off. So in that moment, you're totally squared off before you close it up again. So there's a little bit of a weakness built into a step through, all right? Sometimes they're still great, but it's kind of a beginner way of moving, where your shuffle is like your much more advanced way of moving. Now crossovers, let me get this way. You start in a neutral. When you cross over, you never twist up like a pretzel, right? So your legs never end up like this. So as I'm going forward, this one slides directly forward. This one, see how my feet never get in each other's way? And then going back, boom, 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 boom. Okay? So crossovers don't expose our center line, and they keep the side we want forward. It doesn't flip us to the other side. Okay? So now, what we just did were advancing with a front crossover and retreating with a rear crossover. All right, so going forward, there's 2 kinds of crossovers. You can step in front of this foot, that's called a front crossover, and you can step behind this foot, that's called a rear crossover. So there are 4 kinds of crossovers. 2 advancing, that means going forward, and 2 retreating, that means backing up. So we can go advancing with a front crossover, and that's going to take us straight ahead. Advancing with a rear crossover, that's going to take us to the corner. Retreating with a front crossover takes us to the corner. Retreating with a rear crossover takes us straight back. So advancing with a front crossover, advancing with a rear crossover, retreating with a front crossover, retreating with a rear crossover, advancing with a front crossover, advancing with a rear crossover, retreating with a front crossover, retreating with a rear crossover. Let me turn sideways. Advancing with a front crossover, advancing with a rear crossover, retreating with a front crossover, retreating with a rear crossover. So there's, just like there's 2 steps in a shuffle, there's 2 steps in a crossover. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? All right. So those are our shuffles and our crossovers. Next are our switches. Make sure when you jump switch, you don't raise your height. So don't go up. I see people in tournaments and things and on TV, they're doing this. No, don't ever do that. You don't hop up. When you're floating, you drop down. You don't go up, you go down. See, you drop off your regular height. Your feet are close to the floor. Every time your feet go off the floor, you're vulnerable, all right? If a guy gets your timing, 1, 2, there he goes. He'll just, as soon as you start to go up, that's when he'll start his attack. Because he can't do anything until he comes back down. All right, so jump switch is like a C-step or a step through, except it happens in place. So we go switch, 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 switch. So left side forward, right side forward, left side forward, right side forward. All right? Okay. Switches maintain distance. You don't get closer or farther away from your opponent. Now, back to front switch. Slide your back foot up, slide your front foot back. Now, I see this. 1 turn and 2, 1 turn and 2. I'll teach you how to do it faster than that, okay? When you slide your back foot up, match the angle of your front foot. Then see, you're already halfway turned. And you don't have to go 1, make a turn, and then back, which slows you down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, front to back switch. Bring your front foot back, match the angle, front foot up. So this is kind of like Charlie Chaplin, right? And then back. Bring your front foot back and your back foot up. Front to back switch, 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 front to back switch. All right, so work on your shuffles, work on your 9-set drill with your shuffles, your probe, your sit, your slips, and your arcs. Work on your crossovers and work on your switches. So far so good. Do we have any questions? Miss Liz? Any?
Yes, Brady would like to do 5 swords.
Okay. All right, Brady. So, 5 swords. As Mr. Chase comes in with a roundhouse right punch, we're going to step in and block between his elbow and his wrist. Then we're going to turn, we're going to chop him with the same hand, and then turn right into a palm strike to the face. And then as we turn back, we're going to punch him in the stomach. Okay, we want to knock the wind out of him. Knocking the wind out of a bad guy is practically the best way to protect yourself. All right, people can take repeated shots to the head sometimes and not get knocked out and just get upset. All right, I've seen people who've had their nose broken and it didn't even slow them down. Okay, so your feet are together as a beginner, and as he throws that, you step in and block. Now from there, chop, palm, and then punch. Now, if you know the rest of this, you know that your hands, your left hand is going to be on your right shoulder, so that when you arc off, you can stand them up with a thrusting knife hand to the throat, right? So 1, ba-boom, boom, boom. And that's where that arc comes into play. So blue and green belts, when you do this next move, now this is why I separate 5 swords into bop, 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 and we do that thousands of times before I teach you the next move. Because the next move is really, really hard. Because you need to arc, but you also need to turn your body and thrust that into his throat. Come back to the chop. That continues through until it gets under your armpit. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now, on that one, now, I've seen 5 swords done about 30 different ways. Mr. Knackard, Mr. Trejo, Mr. Planas, Mr. Tatum, Mr. Speakman, whatever. I've seen it a gazillion ways. I'm just showing you the way Mr. Palonza is the way I do it. So this is the way I like it the best, all right? So if you learned it a different way, don't go, oh no, he's doing it wrong. No, I'm just doing it a different way. Parker changed the way he did things. So depending on whether you were a student of his in the early 60s, late 60s, 70s, or early 80s, and then there was like a 5-year period where he wasn't really teaching at all. You know, so there's a lot of different students who learned it slightly differently over the years because Mr. Parker was showing them, was illustrating different principles of Kempo at that time. So don't be like, oh, that's different from what I learned. Don't worry about it, okay? It's fun. So if Miss Liz shows you one way and I show you another way,
My way's right.
just go, cool, now I know 2 ways to do it. I mean, I know like 10 ways to do it. So yay me, right? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then kick. Now, all you pink karate girls, all right, you don't have to do this. Okay?
But you can.
Well, the problem is that as soon as you go like this, you all straighten up, and then you don't have a good, high, powerful kick because the muscles in your lower dorsal lumbar lock up. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, and Brady, that's all you need to focus on right now. But if you want to try the rest, you're certainly welcome to. Boom, boom, boom. Now, from here, put your weight on this leg and just pick this up like you're going to kick yourself in the butt. And then fire your kicking. So it just comes up from there, point of origin movement. Up and in. Altitude, extension. Altitude, extension. All right? Keep your hips back. Don't straighten up. As soon as you straighten up, bad kick. All right? So you got to loosen up those dorsal lumbar. See, look, I can practically kick Chase in the face. From, see? And I only have a 30-inch inseam. I have short legs, but I can still, because I've got my hips tilted back, I've changed the angle on my kick, and I can maintain that angle as opposed to this, where I can't even straighten my leg out. All right, so practice getting in your stance, picking this up and extending. Pick it up and extend. 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 Now, of course, advanced students, you can pick it up right from the floor and then get into proper kick position on the fly, which is fine too. All right? Okay, Brady. So, next question. Elena, what's your question?
Remember, Nikki and Tommy are watching.
Hi, Nikki. Hi, Tommy. All right, let's do destructive twins for Elena. So, Mr. Chase, if you're done with your science experiment over there. Okay. Someone just pulled into the parking lot I don't know why. Okay, so destructive twins is a 2-hand lapel grab here. Now, when the guy grabs you, man, Chase is really a good dummy because he really grabs you. Like when he grabs you, he's not messing around. Right now, he's really cranking the back of my uniform into my neck. So it's good because that's what a real bad guy's gonna do. All right, so now, from here, he can pull me forward, he can push me back, all right, or he can hold me in place. All right, so if he was trying to push me forward, no, push me forward.
How can I?
Like you just did.
Okay, my fault.
He's adopted.
I had a brain fart.
All right, so if he pushes me forward, I'm not going to be able to do this technique. If he pushes me forward, I'm going to go with that and do twin kimono. All right, but now let's say he's holding me or pulling me in. I'm going to do destructive twins. So I'm going to drop so that I don't so my head is pointed at his face and not the other way around. All right, so don't do this and keep your head up. So this is one of the only techniques where we're actually off balance slightly when we do the first shot. Because see, our head is tilted. Like I told you never to do that. Well, now you can do it. Because you choose to. You never accidentally do it. It's always a conscious choice. So we step in, bam. Now these ride down parallel rails. This hits him in the solar plexus, and this hits him in the nose. Then I'm going to take the hand that just hit him in the nose, drive straight down on his forearm to knock it off me. So I go 1, 2, then I go 3, 4. And see how I crossed his arms up? Now look where my hands are. Boom! Shoot those into his eyes, and then pivot and punch. You can check the wrist and punch so that you can do other stuff later if you want to. Okay, so from here, let's do it from this angle. All right, so step in with your right foot, do your double punch. Now, your left hand hits down on his right arm, and now your right arm does an inward block on his left elbow, and then your left arm does an outward block on his elbow as you pivot to a forward bow stance. See how his arms are all crossed up? Now from there, maintain that pressure. See how his weight's back on his heels? Turn that over, shoot them into his eyes, drive his head back, and wham, then punch him in the ribs. Okay, so from here, step in, hit down, inward block, outward block. See how he's all crossed up? Eye spear, take his head, make sure his head goes back, and punch. All right, and one more time. Destructive twins. Punch, hit down, inward block, outward block, eye spear, and punch. All right, practice that. If you have a partner, George and Elena, Will and Emma, Nick and Tom, work on that with your partner. All right, Elena, your next technique is obscure claws. So, obscure claws is a shoulder grab. Now, same thing. When a guy grabs your shoulder, he can either be pushing you forward, he can be pulling you back, or he can be holding you in place. Okay? So, you have to be able to tell what his intention is and immediately move into whatever technique you're going to choose to do there. All right? So, if he grabs me and he pulls me back, he's probably turning me for a reason, either to intimidate me, so this punch is going to be threatening, or boom, to hit me with it. All right, so the first thing I need to do is protect my face. So as he pulls me back, both arms come up and hopefully catch that punch. Then I claw through his face, and then I wrap around and I step forward and I break his elbow and pop his shoulder out of the socket. Okay? All right, so that's the first two moves. First you step back and double claw, and then you step forward and break his elbow. So all you're going to do is step back with your right foot, step forward with your right foot. So you go from feet together to a neutral bow with your right foot back to a forward bow with your right foot forward. All right? And the idea is, boing, to send that little ball bearing in his elbow shooting across the street. Okay, so everybody ready? Step back and claw. Now, both hands were up. As this claws his face, this checks his shoulder. All right, so we can do a positioning check, all right, or we can grab a hold and do a pinning check. All right, just so this hand doesn't slip off and up and into our eyes, right? So we don't want to go like this and have him go and intercept our claw going back and nail us in the eye all at the same time. All right, so from here, as he pulls me back, I go with it, I claw and check. Then I wrap around and I break. Now from there, I'm going to back fist him in the stomach before I start to step. And then as I finish my step, I'm going to do an inverted back fist to the back of the neck. So that's going to hit with this part of my arm from here to here, somewhere in there, and I'm going to hit him on the mastoid, boom, and pull his head really forward, wham, as I drop my weight. Then I'm going to use two fingers and whip his head back by the eye, and then I'm going to drag and fist him right where you would, right where MacGyver would give somebody an emergency tracheotomy with a Bic pen. Does anybody know who MacGyver was? Or no, does anybody know what a Bic pen is? Okay, yeah. See, all these little life hacks that you can't do anymore because you don't have a Bic. All right.
Is that a big pen?
I would do it at an angle.
All right.
Is that a big
It's little
pen?
bit
Oh,
high.
kind of. All right. So, I'm gonna do another angle.
I said I'd do it like at a slight angle.
Okay. So, how about this? How about this slant angle? All right. So he pulls me back. I protect my face. Claw his eyes. Wrap around. Break his arm. Back fist. Back fist. Whip his head back and dragon fist. All right. So let's do that from this diagonal.
Oh.
Okay, so step back and claw, step forward and break, back fist, step back fist, whip the head back and dragon fist. Okay? All right. Obscure claws. Everybody do that 2 times each. Oh boy, we need a humidifier in here. It's dry. Good thing I bring plenty of water. Okay. Everybody good on that? Okay, so let's see. Let's move over to Emma and Will's list. So let's do checking the storm. All right. So if you'll grab that club there, Mr. Chase. So checking the storm is the first club attack defense that we learn. Club defense, club attack defense, club defense. Okay. All right. So let's do this from the diagonal. So the mistake I see most people make on this is they go directly to the side and then they're too far away to reach him with the kick. Okay, that's a problem. Because I was like, he's going to hit me with his second shot. So what I need to do is, I know this is hard to see in 2 dimensions, but you need to jump up the arc. You need to go around the circle. So everybody watch me for a second. Chase, if you'll just put your feet together and stand there. All right, so from where my front foot is, right, I can step directly back, and now watch this. This is with my foot in this spot, this is my maximum distance from him. Now watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. See how I'm in range now? Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, I'm in range now? So, when I jump, I'm going to jump from, pretend he's standing on the clock and he's on the 12 and I'm on the 6. I'm going to jump to the 4:30. All right? Since the clock is a circle, I'm not going to jump straight aside because I just jumped it. Pretend it's a cliff, right? You're standing on a round thing and it's like if you go like that, so you have to step and stay on the platform. Okay, so you're going to go from the 6 to the 4. So I'm here, I'm going, whoa! And I'll go from the 6 to the 4. Now, this is a push, drag, shuffle, like we were just practicing before. Push, drag, so you don't just step and leave that leg behind, because now instead of cracking you on the head, he's going to crack you on the ankle, right? So when you push off, you got to bring your leg with you. So it comes up really fast. Now, when we step, our right foot's flat, but our left foot's on the ball, so we can fire that front kick immediately, okay? We don't want to go 1, 2, 3. All right, so do 2 swings at me. 1, 2, 3. Because he's gonna hit me before I get to him. So I can't do that. I have to hit him on the half count. Ba-bump, bump. Ba-bump, bump. Okay? So, ba-bump. Ba-bump, bump. This is called a bounce step. Bounce step. Bounce step. Okay? You just bounce for a split second to make sure you have your balance. and then you fire your kick. So ready? Bounce step, kick, kick, back fist. All right, so bump, 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 bump. All right? Now, preferably you want to go for his right leg, which is his back leg, but if you can't reach it, go for the front leg. All right, so bump, 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 and then a right back fist. Okay, now let's make sure my hands are in the right position. 1. Okay, so this was an upward block position. In case it got there early, I'm sacrificing my arm to protect my head. If he hits my arm, I can still be able to survive this encounter and get away with an injured arm. But if he hits me in the head, crack, probably not. Because he's going to take that opportunity to hit me 4 or 5 more times. Because, bad guys. So 1. Now this hand is guarding your center line. So just take it, put it right up front in case he's a wily adversary and he knows that his club is not his only weapon. And if the club misses, he has a punch that can land right in your face. So you're like, ha ha, boom, oh. Right? So that's no good either. So you need to go pop, 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 pop. All right, so this hand and this hand. Since you guys are going the other way. Bump. All right, see? From here. Okay. Any questions on checking the storm? All right, let's do grip of death. So let's do the B sides so that we're mirror image to those guys. So, see, Chase doesn't mess around when you graduate. All right, so why is this called grip of death and not grip of noogies? Because he can check me unconscious or kill me from here. Okay, so I need to get out of this fast. So the first thing I'm going to do is take away his base. Now, a person doing this probably isn't standing still. He's probably moving around. So you need to make him stand still. All right, so I see so many instructors on the internet completely glance over the shuffle buckle when it's probably the most important thing in the whole technique. Take out his legs, break his wheels. All right, so you're here, take out his leg, double hammer, anchor the head back. Now that's the second most important move, the anchor the head back, and then pivot and palm. All right, and remember you're always responsible for your partner's head. So 1, step and buckle that knee. Now see how he went off balance? His upper body shot back as I hit his knee forward and his arm went out. That's what we want. Now he's only holding this with one arm. All right, so we do that and then wham, we pivot from a close kneeling stance to a neutral bow and try to touch our hands right through his body. Then come up, over, and under his chin. Okay, and anchor that head back. So we really want to practice fulcruming his head back, levering, using his, using his shoulder. So see how I roll my elbow into his back, and that makes my hand pop up. Then I can pivot and palm strike to finish him off. All right, so in the air, buckle, you're in a close kneel, hammer, you're in a neutral, slide up the back, anchor his head back, and then don't forget to pivot to a forward bow in the palm. Okay, don't just do this or this. Practice driving your weight forward into the palm strike. Don't really hurt your partner, but whatever you do in practice is how you will perform when it's crunch time. Your body will do what you train it to do. If you train it to do this, then that's what it's going to do. If you train it to do this, then that's what it's going to do. All right? Your body will take the path of least resistance, like a lightning bolt. All right? All right. Questions on grip of death? Liz, any questions on the board?
Nope. I'm waiting. Have you done the Nikki and Tommy's techniques list?
Yeah, I can make it, Thomas.
Okay. Nikki and Tommy, this is for you.
All right. Oh, I have their technique list. Tom. Is it sitting over on that table? Hi, I'm not leaving. Oh, where did this go? I know I have it, guys. We just went over it last week. Bum, 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 bum. This is pretty. Hey, man, don't be dropping my water. I need that. All right. That's Lila. Oh. There it is. All right, got it. All right, so let's start off with lone kimono and clutching feathers. Now, even though we do these like all the time, I still see people not putting like 100% into doing the first move. The first move is the most important move. It's the one that makes you not get hit. All right. So if he grabs me, now this is called his control arm or his leveraging arm, and he's holding me there so he can maneuver me around and punch me in the face with the other hand. So if I'm up high, right, I'm just going to pin and step back. I want you to just move me around. That is the opposite of what I wanted to happen. Because what did I forget to do? Say it with me. Drop your weight. Okay, so it's like I have to drop my weight. See, now he's off balance and his arm's easy to break. Boom, because it's straight and it's fully extended. Pop, pop, pop. Okay? Now, as he grabs and I pin and I drop and I step, and I want him way off balance so he can't hit me with that right. Then I can break that arm. All right, so first I checked his width and his height. Now I'm checking his height again. Now I'm checking his width and his height, because you'll notice my block is on the diagonal down. It's not straight across, and the worst thing to do is block straight down and bring his face straight into you. All right, so we don't go up, down, and bring his head straight in. It's off to the side. So let's do it from this angle so you can see that. All right, watch his head. See, I'm over here. See, he's over there. I don't want him here. I want him over there. Okay, so as I do that, he's got to go off to the corner. All right, so he grabs me. He wants to control me. I drop my weight, get my hips nice and close to the ground, break his elbow, clear his arm, return with a chop. Okay, all right, and clutching feathers is pretty much the same thing, except it's a hair grab. So same thing, step and drop, drag and fist, outward block palm, and hammer. All right, so he grabs. I don't want to just do this because he's not checked. I need to step, drop to get him off balance, and then deliver the pain response, okay? And then outward block palm, you may need to shuffle on that, which is okay. Now make sure this stays on his arm and doesn't slide back here so he can hit you. Okay, I see this a lot. And this goes behind you. No, make sure this goes to the front 45. All right, not behind you. All right, so he grabs my hair, I pin, strike, that goes to the front 45, this goes to 12 o'clock into his face, boom, and then hammer to the jaw. Okay, all right, so spread him out, stretch him, dragon fist, outward block palm, hammer. All right, all right. I gotta fix my hair. How do I look? All right, good. Okay, so lone kimono, clutching feathers. Let's do crashing wings and spiraling twigs. So crashing wings is our base technique off a bad guy grabbing us from behind. I'll do mirror image. So as he grabs me, I pin his arms before he gets them completely locked. Once he gets them completely locked, we need to go on to plan B, because we're probably not going to be able to get around him. Okay. Now, the biggest thing here, especially for kids, is don't get picked up. Okay? Getting picked up is bad. As soon as you're up in the air, you're in trouble. Okay? Because I just seen too many times on videos where a person picks somebody up, turns them over, drops them on their head, they hit head first, and then they stop moving. And I don't know if they're dead, quadriplegic, brain damaged, but you don't want to go there. So you drop your weight. And the idea is to get him to pick that foot up off the ground. Again, if we can get him on one foot, we're in great shape to finish him off. Okay? So, on one, we drop and we pin and we pull him up bounce. Now, pin those arms so you can throw this guy around. See how Chase is moving? All right. So you need to transfer the energy from you into him and then go around his leg. And again, just like in Grip of Death, the buckle is key to everything. Buckle that knee. So you go, hey, you're in my parking spot. And then take it and wham! That's right there for the chin. Drive that head back and pop! Finish it off with a hammer and knock all the wind out of him. Technically it's supposed to go to the groin, but you know what? Take the wind out of the guy. You know, remember, you okay? His doing now pain is much, or now incapacitation, is much more important than giving him lasting damage that he won't feel for 6 hours, okay? You hit him in the groin, you rupture a testicle, he's fine for 20 minutes, and then he's got to get to the hospital before he dies. It's no good. We need him to be on the ground in pain now, all right? If he can't breathe, he can't fight, he can't chase us, so hit him in the solar plexus or stomach as hard as you can and knock that wind out of him, okay? So one more time slowly, pin the arms, make sure you have a good grip. Drop that weight as you step out, get low, low, low. Go around and take control of the space that his knee was just in because he's in your spot. Okay, Woody? Now elbow to the chin and then hammer to the body. All right. So, crashing wings. Everybody do that 2 times with your partner. While I get a sip of water.
You got 8 minutes.
All right. Spiraling twig. Now, he gets you completely wrapped up. So this is a problem, right? It's because he's all the way around you. So now, when I pin, it's hard for me to get around him. I can still do it, but it's a lot harder because he's got 2 hands together, supporting each other, working together to prevent me from getting around him. So it's way harder to do, okay? Not impossible, but a heck of a lot harder. So we don't want to fight him. As soon as we start to fight, he's going to start to fight back. So we need to surprise him. So we're going to step and drop and then bang on the back of his hands so he lets go because, oops, sudden intense pain. For all he knows, we just jabbed him with a knife, okay? What does he know? All he knows is sharp pain. Now from there, you'll notice I'm still holding him. Now I'm going to squeeze this elbow, see, as I grab his hand. Now my fingers go where the bottom of his hand meets his wrist. And my thumbs go up on his knuckles. Now, I'm going to roll out. I'm going to step with my left foot and turn, and you'll see how I keep the pressure on his elbow with my elbow while I do that, so I don't go around him, because right there he can hit me and stuff, because I stopped checking him for a split second. So I keep checking him with my elbow, and then as I step back with my right foot, I just transfer the hold up his arm. Then I kick him in the face. I can palm strike his wrist to break it. I can push, pull to break. Okay. Spiraling twig. So, step, bang, bang, bang. Grab with both hands. Start to roll out. Keep the pressure on that elbow. Turn the pressure on the wrist. Kick him in the face and break his wrist. Poor Chase has been getting beat up these last couple weeks. This COVID-19 thing has to end soon. All right. All right, so drop, bang, 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 grab, roll, and kick. Okay? All right, so crashing wings and spiraling twig, work on that. So, let's see.
I'm running
Let's-
by.
We have time for one more, Mr. Chase?
It's 125, yes.
Okay, we have time for one more. All right, so, all right, we did lone kimono, did clutching feathers, did 5 swords, did spiraling twig, did grip of death, did checking the storm, did crashing wings. Let's do thundering hammers. Okay, so, thundering hammers is a left side forward technique. So from here, right, as a straight punch comes in to my face, I'm gonna step to the corner. So my foot and my head are gonna go to 1030. All right, don't tilt. Keep your chest up. All right, so I'm up here. Now, see how this missed me? So let me go over here. So Chase is gonna punch straight down the line. All right, see where his punch is? See where my head is? Okay, that is important. I see a lot of people, they do the block, but they kind of just keep their knees straight and they kind of just step directly down the line. Guys, you gotta change your height, width, and depth. Not just your depth and your width. All right, so as I step, I'm gonna block at or above the elbow. And I wanna take his punch off to the corner. So go this way, here comes the punch. See how I took his punch off to the corner? I didn't let him stay on the center line because then he could turn into me with that other hand. All right. So I need to, for a split second, check his width because I'm on the outside. When you're on the inside, you check height. See, I'm on between his arms, check height. If I'm on the outside, check width. All right. So that's now headed to the corner. I'm going to shuffle in, upside down back fist, and wham! Blast him with that back fist. Then that's going to roll around, and I'm going to hammer his far kidney, and then this is going to hammer the back of his neck. All right, now, let's see. Where will I not be in everybody's way to see this? Let's try it from this diagonal. So, 1, 2. See how I shuffled up? Now, if you're a green belt, I want you to start working on your checking. So, from this back fist, this is going to roll and stay on him to keep him bent over. Boom, as you hammer. And this is going to stay on him to keep him there as you hammer. Okay? So, beginners, right? You're going inward block, back fist, hammer, and hammer. All right? Now, blue and green belts, I want you to go inward block, back fist, keep contact, and hammer, keep contact, and hammer. Okay? And then boom, boom. You can add the rest there. Next thing we're going to do is add in the leg checks once you get really good at checking with the arms. So let's do it from this diagonal. So I step off, I block, I hit, maintain the pressure as you drop. See, I'm holding him, and then check that as you drop, hit on the other side. All right, so maintain, maintain. All right, so he just doesn't like wrap you in the groin on purpose or accidentally because his arm's just hanging there, not doing anything. Okay? All right, guys. That's thundering hammers. Let's do it in the air. Ready? Inward block. Shuffle back fist. Hammer 1. Hammer 2. Inward block. Shuffle back fist. Hammer 1. Hammer 2. All right, guys, great job. Have a good weekend. I'm going to be doing another beginner live stream. It might be Tuesday night. All right, so I'll be sending out emails. Everybody make sure you're getting emails from me regularly. If you're not getting emails, please contact me at jdurningkarate@gmail.com. All right, in order to get on the list and make sure you're receiving emails. Please like and subscribe to Durning Martial Arts on YouTube so that you get an alert every time I add a new video. All right, so we can keep you guys moving forward on your training, and hopefully with the extra time you have now because of this horrible situation we're in, you can put in a couple of extra hours a week to really, really get your karate up to speed. Okay, so attention stance, horse stance, warrior scholar, attention, and bow. Have a great weekend.